Hello, everyone. It's Mono, and I'm not mad, I'm just a bit concerned. Okay, hi guys. I just want to preface this video by acknowledging that the vast majority of my subscribers are not like this. I feel weird saying fans. Do I say fans? Also, this isn't directed at anyone specific. I'm not mad, I just kind of want to put this video out there as like, hey, this is my stance. Please don't do this thing because I really don't like it. Okay, I want to talk about something I've been noticing in my community / overall. Oh god, I have a community. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna vomit. No, I'm kidding. Ever since I made that video on the Tumblr freak especially, this is starting to become more of an issue. I'm not here to name and shame. Again, this is not a directed video. But I am going to openly speak about something that makes me uncomfortable, and at this point, I'm just going to start blocking people and removing them from my community if they continue to do this. So this is just a fair warning. Overall, this video can also just be a lesson for respecting creators / artists you like in general. However, please know that my boundaries are not going to be the same as every other creator. Do not take what I say here as the law of how you should treat all creators across the board. There are creators I know who legitimately could not care less about what you say to them or what you do with their characters. But there's also other creators who really prefer not to interact with their fans at all. So, at the end of the day, all I ask is to please be mindful. It's impossible to go through life without accidentally stepping on someone's toes at least once. So, if you've done this, if you're kind of one of the people I'm talking about, look, it's okay. Just don't do it again, please. You can try to avoid stepping on people's toes with just a little bit of common decency and consideration. Also, just because you don't see my face most of the time, doesn't mean I'm not a person behind the screen. Vendetta may be the avatar synced up to my voice and speaking to you, but I am not playing as her character when I talk. My videos are strictly out of character. That's why I introduce myself as Mono, not Vendetta. I am Mono, and the character I use is Vendetta. But let's get into it. I also want to say that I do greatly appreciate everyone who comes out to my other platforms to support me there. Y'all are super cool. But I want to address something that's been a problem on my Instagram specifically. It's gotten to the point where I even ended up kind of ranting in my last Instagram post at like 3 AM about this. But then I realized, ain't nobody reading that. Except like one person. Shoutouts to you. Thank you for listening to my exhausted ramblings. I'm sorry, it wasn't put together very well. Let's chat about art requests and how not to ask for them. Also, context, if I seem a bit frustrated. Again, I'm not like mad, but I don't like this either. Every social media page I have that allows me to add a bio clearly states that I don't take art requests. I never have, and I likely never will. Again, I'm not trying to be mean, but I do want to be assertive. I know that not everyone reads bios, but if you're ever considering asking an artist to create anything for you, paid or not, you should probably check over their boundaries and/or their terms of service first. By doing this simple act, you and the artist can avoid misunderstandings and breaches of boundaries. I also want to mention that my art isn't something I throw together in 20 minutes. My commissions are priced the way they are for several different reasons, but a huge part of that price tag is the time and effort that goes into my art. Most of my highest quality pieces took me 8 hours or more. I'm still working on my speed, but working with a new character always involves some kind of adjustment for me. For example, the speed paint you see in the background only took me about 3 hours to complete. However, if this were someone else's character that I was making a Halloween costume for, yeah, it probably would have taken like 10 hours. Just straight up, it's because I'm used to drawing Vendetta. But regardless, 8 hours is the equivalent of an average full-time work shift here in the States. Obviously, it's not as physically hard as a retail or fast food gig, but art still takes a lot out of artists mentally. Think about it this way. You have to promote yourself, communicate with your clients, plan the piece, manage your time so that you aren't going over deadlines. And that's all before actually doing the art or making any adjustments a client wants later down the line. Overall, when you order a full body, fully just completely lit, shaded everything commission from me, you're paying for like 10 hours of work from me. Just straight up. And honestly, a lot of artists do all this and more for a price that's far less than what they're really worth. Many artists charge under minimum wage when you break down their work into an hourly rate, and it's kind of sad. But that's the reality of being a commission artist when you're still trying to get yourself out there and build clientele. Even when you do raise prices, you're inevitably going to lose some clients. But at the end of the day, would you rather work all the time, practically for free, or would you rather get paid somewhat fairly to work once in a while while you can spend the rest of your time doing whatever else you need to do for money? That's the position a lot of artists find themselves in. And I hope this can help some of the non-artists in my audience understand why a lot of us choose the second option. Let's get back on topic though. Here are some paraphrased examples of art requests from my inbox. Number 1. Sorry you went through what you did on Tumblr. You don't deserve to go through such awful, horrible, tragic things. I like your art though. Will you make me free art of my character? Okay, I shortened that one down a lot. In reality, their message was this massive spiel about how awful and, all those words about how that person treated me before they followed up with that question. Number 2. Will you draw my character? Sends a massive block of lore, all the details they want in an art piece, and their ref sheets. They even specify that they want a lineless piece. Be so for real right now. Number 3. Will you draw your character doing acts I cannot repeat on YouTube with my character? No. What do I even say right now? Look, I don't really interact on Instagram. I'm not interested in keeping an active account on there for many reasons. So I likely won't reply to anything that isn't about commissions because I like money. I'm not scared to admit it. I'm not going to sit here and act like art is only something I do for the heart and soul of it. You can do things and have multiple motivations behind them, and one of mine happens to be money. I am more than happy to work with people and give them some awesome ass art and put all my fucking heart and soul into it, because that's what I do. But I'm also a broke bitch and I want something for it. But let me just break down all 3 of these messages and explain what issues I have with each of them. Okay, number 1, butter me up buttercup up in here. So, in fairness, this one's pretty tame, right? And I do agree. This is more of a nitpick compared to the other 2, but it does bother me all the same, because this type of language is really common with people who ask me for free stuff. Using sympathy towards an experience of mine that you say was so horrible, which, honestly, it didn't affect me that badly. Like, dang, did I accidentally come off like a kicked puppy in that video? Because that's not my intention. That's not what I wanted to do. And to say all of that just to follow it up by asking me to do you a favor doesn't come off that well. I'm not saying this was intentional, but it feels fake, and depending on the person's intentions, it can be manipulative, it can be fake. In the most basic way I can put it, let's say you're just chilling one day. Maybe you're at a restaurant eating some food, all by yourself. Okay, that sounds sad, but okay, in my perspective, I'm chill with that. I don't mind it. I like eating alone. So let's say you're fine with it too. Like, you're just vibing. And, oh, looks like there's a hair in your food. Well, that's okay. You send it back, and you're currently waiting for a new dish. All of a sudden, a stranger gets up and walks over to you and starts saying all these pitying things to you. Like, it's the end of the world that there was a hair in your food. And You're thanking them because, you know, maybe they're a little dramatic, but it's sweet. And then they suddenly are like, hey, you want to know what you could do for me? That's the energy that gives off. Does it not feel like that person only said those things before in hopes of gaining something out of it? At that point, just say you want free art. I don't like beating around the bush. I don't like this. Number 2, the lore spammer. So first of all,
your Jordans are completely fake!
Beggars can't be choosers. Even if I was offering art requests, you don't get to boss me around and choose what I make. You don't get to sit here and tell me, yeah, go make that 8-hour lineless piece of my OC fighting 10 million badniks. Girl, I have work. And I have bills to pay. Not to mention that sending me a ton of messages, spamming me with your OC's lore and references will not make me more inclined to do free work for you. Instead, I'll probably see all these really long messages in my inbox and feel too overwhelmed to respond. I never agreed to anything, so don't send me everything. Actually, this kind of reminds me of a Sonic fan project I tried to join a few months back. Oh gosh, I really want to do a video on that experience at some point, y'all, because that guy was sketchy as hell, and he's not a small figure in the community. I was shocked at how he treated everyone, honestly. And that guy didn't just ask for free stuff, he actually tried to take advantage. Like, that guy was a great example of what not to do with fan projects and how not to treat your volunteers. And I was willing to do free stuff, but not with how this guy treated me. Number 3, asking if I will make NSFW of your character and mine. Okay, you will be blocked for this. Just straight up, the person who sent this to me was blocked. Been there, done that, it's gone. But, I mean, brother, do I need to explain why y'all don't need to be sending me that shit? Look, I don't typically take pot shots at other people's characters, but Vendetta would not want your ugly recolor looking hedgehog OC, and she especially wouldn't want him like that. Vendetta likes women, and then she likes Shadow. That's pretty much how it goes. I think you fundamentally misunderstand how to act normal. Please stop gooning in my inbox and touch grass. Thank you. Oh my god, what is this video? Okay, I just want to keep this video somewhat short. I know I just said in a community post that I don't really want to do negative content, I don't want to be known for it. However, I'd say this video is more to reinforce boundaries. Plain and simple, don't send me this shit again. I'm not the type to expose people unless it's really, really heinous stuff, like actual crimes. I don't really like people who go around doing, this guy exposed, and he's just annoying. But at the same time, this is a reminder that I am human. I'm not an artwork machine. I am not Vendetta the Vandal herself, and I'm not interested in being part of anyone's weird fantasies. Don't say I didn't warn you, and don't come crying if you get blocked for saying things like this in the future. Okay, thanks for watching, bye-bye.